Oh, prices are up. No. Prices are down under the Trump administration, and they're down substantially.
Make it make sense why I'm paying $500 a week for groceries and necessities.
Remember when Donald Trump said on the campaign trail that he was going to lower grocery prices on day one? Well, new data just came out and it shows that U.S. grocery prices are the highest they have ever been.
Can we talk about how quickly the prices of your purchases seem to increase in literally the span of like 5 seconds? I literally just went to Target to get literally a handful of things that I needed. Not even a handful, half a handful of things that I needed. With those like 4 or 5 things, I already spent $22. Hear me out. I know some people are going to easily be like, well, that's because you went to Target. You're not wrong. But Target is closer, and I really didn't have the patience for Walmart today. So yeah, darn enough strong. I needed feminine products, which in all honesty really should be free, but that's a whole different topic for another time. I needed more tissue because I was on my last roll today. I mean, you need something to wipe your butt with. Literally a travel size Vaseline because mine is running low and it's getting cold and we don't have time for dry lips. And then just 2 things of gummy bears because I wanted a snack. That's it. And that was $22. Like, I don't, what?
Why is vanilla priced like it got drafted in the NWA? So I went to the grocery store yesterday because I needed more vanilla. I just feel like I would run out of vanilla. And then I saw this disrespectful situation on the shelf at the grocery store. And all the spices were sitting up there massively disrespectful, right? But the vanilla stood out to me as the most egregious thing out there. Now the president keeps saying prices are falling, things are getting better. For who? For who? I know in January, before he got back in office, that vanilla wasn't $40. $40 for vanilla? We should be all upset about this. And I'm just wondering how much more the government really thinks that Americans can take. You know, in the past, they would tell you, your mama would say, when you say, oh, mama, can we have McDonald's? You say, you got McDonald's at home. Now I'm starting to wonder if it's cheaper to eat that stuff than it is to cook at home. And understand the food that places like McDonald's serve, that ain't good for us. It's better for you to cook at home. What is this, y'all? Are y'all seeing the same prices I'm seeing in your neighborhoods too? And what is the most disrespectful price that you've seen in your grocery store on the shelves or somewhere in there? What's the most disrespectful price that you've seen? Because this is $40 vanilla. That's insane.
Americans are fed up, and at this point, who can blame them? Grocery prices in the United States have reached levels that simply make no sense. Families are walking into stores with a $200 budget and walking out with only 2 bags. People are literally spending more on a week of groceries than a brand new 65-inch TV. And while politicians insist that prices are down, the receipts tell a different story. This is no longer just inflation. This is survival. And millions of Americans are asking the same question. How are we supposed to live like this?
I hate bringing politics into anything that I post, but I can promise you one thing. Prices have not come down on any groceries. Eggs are still high. Chicken is high. Beef is high. Everything is high. The president sits here and says, oh, eggs came down and this is coming down. No, it has not. You probably haven't stepped foot in a grocery store in decades. You don't know what groceries cost because it doesn't matter to you because you have unlimited funds of money. For everyday working Americans, we are literally drowning with the prices of everything. My electric bill is $400. I've never had a $400 electric bill ever. And I don't even have my central AC unit on. So you tell me again how prices have come down. And if they have, where? Where are you finding these prices at? It's bullshit. All of it is bullshit.
So typically I do not complain about grocery prices. I don't really look. But today I was kind of shocked by the prices and shrinkflation. For instance, this is what I bought today. This was just like a small run. I even got like not organic milk, not organic eggs. I got 2 things of bread, some baby potatoes, a thing of broccoli, 2 green beans.
So do you
These for my daughter. You only get 4 in one. Bananas, 2 things of these macaronis. And then I swear I haven't bought coffee mate in forever, but I saw this one on TikTok, so I wanted to try it. These used to be bigger. These are way smaller. I swear. 2 of those, 2 of these, and goldfish. And my bill was $162 for a small table full of food. And this is not even meat. This is just like ingredients. Oh, I don't know how people feed their families. So yeah, let me know any tips and tricks that you guys do. And this was also like buy one, get one, a lot of this stuff. And I did not get organic. I thought this would maybe be $60 tops. No meat, none. I'm shocked.
I'm about to show you $10 worth of groceries in America. Bread and eggs, $4.79 and $4.70 something or another. $10 for bread and eggs. Good job.
I just realized that groceries for a month cost more than a 65-inch flat screen TV in America. For a single person. That's fucking insane. That is so wild whenever you put it into that like perception. Oh my fucking god. I remember when like getting a 65-inch flat screen TV used to mean like you were rich. Groceries for 4 weeks of living cost more than a 65-inch flat screen TV. What? You can now afford a TV better than you can groceries as a single person every single month in America. What the fuck? But inflation. Why the fuck do TVs not go up? Because that's how they keep us brainwashed. That's how they keep selling us shit.
The cost of living in America is just a scam. And I think more and more of us are seeing that, especially on an app like this where we can see what people are paying for life outside of these borders. I think the craziest thing about these videos I make talking about grocery prices and cost of living in general in the United States is the comments I get from people who live outside of this country. People from Germany, Denmark, Sweden, you name it. Especially countries that you would typically associate with higher costs. They're letting me know that they're paying way less for so many things. The other day when I made that video about grocery prices and I had 2 bags, it was 11 items, it was like $40. I was getting comments from all over the world, and let me tell you, I didn't get a single comment from anywhere saying that they would pay more. Sometimes in European countries, these prices would be less than a quarter of what we're paying here. So my question is, what's going to happen? We are obviously going through a cost of living disaster here in the United States. Not the only place that's expensive. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we are paying an amount of money that is not sustainable. There is more homelessness than ever. There is less financial stability than ever. There's more bankruptcies than ever. Where does this go? How does this end? Because it's not going anywhere good.
Here is the truth. Americans aren't just frustrated. They are exhausted. Week after week, month after month, the cost of living keeps climbing with no relief in sight. And when people say groceries feel like a luxury items, no, they are not exaggerating. It's becoming normal to choose between milk or bread, fruit or vegetables, medicine or lunch, because buying all of it together is no longer an option. What's even more painful is watching politicians argue on television about how everything is getting better, while average person is staring at a grocery bill that could pay half their rent. You can't tell a mother who just spent $200 on food that used to cost her $120 that things are improving. You can't convince a family that's skipping meals just to make it to payday that inflation is under control. And you definitely can't tell Americans that prices are the lowest they've been, while corporations quietly raise prices, shrink portions, and report record profits. Corporations didn't wake up one morning and forget how to price products. They saw an opportunity during the pandemic and they never stopped. They kept raising prices because they could. They kept shrinking the items because it boosted profits. They kept blaming inflation even after their own cost went down because nobody forced them to stop. And now Americans are paying the price literally. People are skipping breakfast. Parents are eating leftovers so their kids can have the fresh meal. Millions are turning to fast food, not because it's healthy, but because somehow a $4 burger is cheaper than cooking dinner at home. This is a reality of America today. We are watching a nation where working full-time doesn't guarantee you can afford groceries, where elderly people are returning to part-time jobs just to keep up with food prices, where young people are still living with their parents because groceries alone eat half their paycheck. And every time Americans complain, they are being told to just work harder. But most people are juggling 2 or 3 jobs just to stay afloat. Americans aren't asking for luxury. They are not asking for steak and lobster every night. They are asking to buy eggs, bread, rice, chicken, and vegetables, the basics, the things that every family should have access to without feeling guilty or financially stressed. But we've reached a point where you walk down a grocery store doing mental math, debating whether you should buy less or cheaper or nothing at all. People aren't living, they are calculating. And while all this is happening, corporations are reporting billions in profit. Executives are getting bonuses. Shareholders are celebrating record returns. Meanwhile, the everyday American is wondering how to survive next week. So let's be honest. Americans aren't giving up because they're weak. They are giving up because the system keeps pushing harder while giving less in return. You can't stretch a dollar that no longer stretches. You can't budget your way out of prices that are completely disconnected from wages. So if America wants to fix this, it starts with accountability. It starts with calling out corporate greed. It starts with demanding policies that protect working people, not billion-dollar companies. And most importantly, it starts with acknowledging the truth. Americans deserve better. They deserve affordable food. They deserve dignity. And they deserve a life where groceries don't feel like a luxury purchase. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.